Absolutely. For me, I can say that going back to Matthew 24, and you can go Luke 21, Mark 13, Yeshua gave us, I believe, something very specific to watch for, and that is Jerusalem being surrounded and the abomination of desolation. Those two things, to me, are like, that should be like on our watch list right now. That's to be the ultimate. Now, bear in mind, he also said, before this happens, you'll hear of wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, all these different things taking place. So now we can say, well, that's been happening for a long time. And I agree. Okay. And we can go back to World War I, World War II, all these things when the whole world was at war. Okay. I agree. However, I believe when the times that Yeshua was talking about, it will be not just war over there. It will be war everywhere, and it will be something big time. But yet he even said then, take heart, the end is still yet to come.
Hmm.
So that means we're going to see some things kicking gear hard, tensions everywhere. There will be no homeland that's safe because it's going to be, tensions everywhere. And then I believe that will all lead up to the element of, I believe Jerusalem gets surrounded because of the abomination of desolation. Okay. And I believe the abomination of desolation is the sacrificial system starting back up in Jerusalem. Now I can take you to several verses that we can go into and we can discuss that later.
Hmm.
However, when that begins, that will begin the 40 days of Jerusalem being surrounded in Ezekiel chapter 4 and chapter 5. At that time, I have multiple theories of when and how this will all take place, but I believe at the end of those 40 days will be the resurrection. Okay. And this, again, goes in with Ezekiel. But more specifically, I think it's going to go in with Isaiah. And at the resurrection, you're going to have an earthquake, a great earthquake, and you'll have the destruction of Babylon. Okay. And it's only at the destruction of Babylon that will be when the Antichrist rises up to begin his reign. Doesn't mean he's not on the scene. In fact, I think he will be on the scene during Babylon's, reign of terror on the believers, and that's going to go into Revelation 17 and 18, 19. But until Babylon is taken out of the way, Antichrist can't rule and reign. And I believe he will rule and reign from Jerusalem. And then you'll have a time frame that I believe can be as little as 6 months and right at probably most probably a year. Okay. And then I know you got the 7-year tribulation people, and then the 3.5 year. I lean to a 1-year tribulation, and I have a teaching all on that. And then at the end of that tribulation time, Daniel says when the holy people are finally broken, and that will be when Yahweh comes in, steps in, Yeshua comes in and saves the day, if you will. And then when he cleans house in Jerusalem, and that's what's going to happen is, because I think, again, wrong or right, I lean very heavily that at the resurrection, he takes his bride to Mount Sinai. Just like he took him when he delivered him out of Egypt, where did he take him to? To Mount Sinai. What did they do? They entered into covenant. What you're going to do? We're going to have the new covenant right there established all over right then at Mount Sinai. He's with his bride for 1 year, according to Deuteronomy 24. It says when a man takes a bride, he can't go to war or have any work laid upon him. That's what Yeshua does. He takes his bride. He's with her for a whole year, and that's what he actually did at Mount Sinai. He was there for a full year. They were there for 1 full year. Afterwards, that's when they went out to the spies to check out Jericho.
Hmm.
So anyway, back to point. At that time, at the end of that year, Yeshua will enter into Jerusalem, clean house, and then he sends, according to Isaiah 66, around verse 20, he sends his people out for the greater exodus, and he brings all the people back in. And from there on out, you got the millennial reign of Yeshua.